All right, we're going to use this example for this tutorial, and it's just simply to enter this into Finale as efficiently as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll move this out of the way. Okay, using our launch window, we'll click the setup window. And I need to change my paper size. And we'll add in our couple of instruments, which are B-flat clarinet and bassoon. Entering in all of the information of the piece. We'll use the arranger, which goes right below. All right, and so key of G, it's in 2/4, and we'll add our measures right here. We know that there's 18 measures in it. And so here we have our score. Now the first thing I like to do is go ahead and get the roadmap taken care of, and so I'm going to go through and go to the 8th measure and right-click, adding the first and second ending, and then going to the end and also doing the same thing with a right-click. So now we have this all pretty much set up and it's ready to enter the notes. All right, there are a number of ways to enter notes fairly quickly. You can either use the MIDI keyboard, a combination of the MIDI keyboard and the computer keyboard, or just the computer keyboard. A lot of people I know who are quite good at using Finale will swear by the just simply using the computer keyboard, but I tend to like the MIDI keyboard, so that's what I'll demonstrate here. Okay, and then for grace notes, we have to enter in our 16th note in first. So, and then option G will should turn that into a grace note. And then option G again to turn that into a grace note. And then back to 8th notes. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot one of my repeats, but we'll go back in and get that later. I don't find option G to be a really comfortable shortcut. But it'll have to do. All right, so there's the example there. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and I'll just start out my first one with a mouse. Right, and then we'll go ahead and enter in the rest of the transpose now. We got an extra note in there. And that just happens sometimes. I'm not exactly sure why it's jumping around in octaves all over the place on me. But it is. And I find it rather disconcerting at the moment. All right. Now I could have entered using this this method. You can go ahead and enter in the articulations, but I find when I'm doing that with the MIDI keyboard, it's kind of difficult. All right. So now let's go ahead and set up our layout. I'm going to go back into my selection tool. Actually, the first thing I need to do is enter in a forward repeat here because we're missing that. All right. And now I want to move some things down around and see just okay. And I want that on line 3. I want that measure on line 4, and then I want that measure on line 5. And so it laid it out very, very nicely, very quickly. So that was a good thing. All right, so now we're ready to enter in the details. Oh, I also remember now I forgot to enter in I should definitely have entered in the tempo marking here, but so we'll go ahead and do that a slightly different way. Well, let's go ahead and start out with the articulations. I use the shortcuts here, and so I have some staccatos to enter, and so holding down the S key, I can click on any of these notes. Let's see, S, S. Okay, and then these would be the A for accent. And let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, this is one I don't remember, so I'm going to just go ahead and use that shortcut there. And let's see, I have some more accents here. And a couple of fermatas. Okay, and these are all, those are the easy shortcuts to remember. There's a couple I don't remember. I do see I have an issue here with the notes, so I need to run back in and grab those. So we'll just select an 8th note here, and that way I can go and dot, and then go backwards, and then connect those. Okay, so anyway, so now let's see, do I have all the articulations? It looks like I do. All right, so let's go ahead and enter in our expressions now, our dynamics. Okay, first dynamic is a mezzo forte, and again, I know the meta tool for that is 5, and then I can just assign to all staves. Okay, and of course, if I know that the meta tool is 5 I should be able to remember the rest of them, and so in fact I do. 6 is, and then I'm just again assigning it to both staves. I like that I can do that, and then I should be able to remember this one too. And I can. And adjustment there. Okay, and so I find the meta tools work really nicely on this. Okay, and so there are our meta tools. I've done all of that. All right, so next we're entering in lines. Okay, we're entering slurs and like the slurs are incredibly easy these days. I remember the old days when it was not. And this one here, I want it to go. Oops. Having trouble grabbing it there. Okay. I want it to go past the note, and so we'll flatten that out just a little bit. Okay. And so now we have all those. It's a little high. I'm being picky. All right. And then finally, we have crescendos and decrescendos here. So let's go ahead and enter in our decrescendo. Now you can copy crescendos and decrescendos, but in finale. But when I'm just doing it for two different staves, I generally don't do that. I want to move that up just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, and let's see a couple more. And the decrescendo here. Okay, is that all of them? I believe that is. And so we've basically completed our example, just a little bit of cleanup. Let's get rid of this subtitle. We don't need it. We don't need that score as well. And other than that, I probably need to go through and do just a quick proof of this, but I think that's pretty much the entire example.